Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Everybody, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Come on in the room. Hey, Miss Lori. Hey, Miss Annette. What's going on, Miss Alicia, Miss Victoria? Hey, y'all. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Oh, there's a lot of them actually. Okay. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Friday, y'all. We have made it to Friday. Hey, Miss T. We have made it to Friday. We have made it to Friday. We have made it to Friday. Let's see, up to 45%. Let's see what's in store. Good morning, good morning, good morning. As you guys can see, we are going to be discussing Miss Brit EADY, Miss Kenya Ma, and the Real Housewives of Atlanta seating chart for the reunion. What's up, everybody? And then also, too, I am seeing people go ham, blaming what Brit did, Brit's action. They blaming Brit's actions on the viewers. So we have to talk about it. Also, too, we will be live on DonDon Unfiltered to discuss more of Elanisha and Trumpisha arguing with each other and going back and forth. I live, honey. When I say I have gotten my life watching them go back and forth, is literally what I've gotten. I've gotten my life, okay? My entire life. Okay. All right, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. Let's go ahead and get into the things because you all know I will be y'all know that I will be going live um for the Diddy trial. So come on in, come on in, come on in. Hey, Miss Donna Potts. Hey, Angie B, Miss Phyllis. Good morning, good morning. All right. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. I'll wait one more minute. We'll do 5 minutes in. I got a lot to do today, y'all. A lot to do. Like yesterday. Lord have mercy. All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you guys are doing good, even to the ones that are in the bushes watching. Let's go ahead. All right. So, as many of us know, we see the seating chart for the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion, and we also know that Brit EADY did not show up to the actual reunion. All right. Brit EADY did not show up to the reunion. Now, it is said that we already knew that Kenya was disinvited to the reunion. We already knew that. Okay, because she told us in her confessional video that she was disinvited to the reunion. So none of us really expected for Kenya to be there, but none of us expected for Brit EADY to not be there. Okay. Now I want you all to keep in mind about the buzz and the things that's going on with Brit EADY, because I'm getting ready to disagree with a lot of what people are saying about Brit in this. So I want you guys to think outside of the show as well. there are a couple of things that Brit is going through at this very moment. Not only is she going through the fact that she owes the freaking people over there because they suing her husband. Brit didn't want to have to answer to that. I feel like Brit didn't want to have to answer to her event at all. I feel like Brit didn't want to answer to anything because help me understand. We're gonna go over her statement. Actually, let's do that right now, and then we'll go over the seating chart in a minute. Since Brit's not there, it's no reason to discuss the seating chart before we discuss Brit. So let's get into it. So this was Brit's statement that she made on her Instagram story yesterday. Okay. So it says this here. She says, as everyone is aware, I am not attending the reunion. This was my decision. The events of this season have devastated me. Let's stop right there. The events of this season, the events of this season, the whole Picturegate thing happened on on episode 5. Her event just happened a couple of episodes ago. Okay, let's be very clear about that. Mm. Not only does she have the people suing her, but she absolutely also has um she has the decorator coming out, telling her side of the story, like, you know, Brit didn't have the funds, she didn't have the budget, she didn't have a lot of things, and she still hasn't paid me my money. That was that. Okay, let's be clear about that. Now let's keep going. And while I cannot say much right now. Why can't you? Oh, because you're still under contract right now. That's why. Okay, got it. Um, I do want to set the record straight about one thing. The graphic actual photo surrounding the events in episode 5. The photo was not me. As the episode makes clear, I did not see the photo at the time. Rather, I was made aware of the photo being presented at the event. And based on what I was told, assumed that it was somehow a photo of me, which is why I reacted the way that I did. I do not know who was in that photo, but upon seeing it for the first time recently, I know that it was not me. I look forward to seeking accountability and making past this dark part of my life, Brit. All right, let me. I'm just gonna drag you for the hoe that you are. Okay, I'm supposed to eat you up, Brit. Okay, Brit, you're lying. You're lying. You're lying. You are flat out lying. You mean to tell me that you have filmed this show, this whole show. You filmed this show. You set up and cried with your husband. Not only did you cry with your husband, but you kept whining to every cast member about what Kenya did to you. Oh, Kenya did this, and Kenya doesn't. Oh wait, excuse me. Kenya doesn't know that this would mess up my agency. Oh my god, like Kenya, why would you do this? You know, Kenya. Oh my god. Because, but I don't want y'all to take away the fact that I still think what Kenya did was out of line at her event, right? I'm not going to change that. I'm not going to change that. Mama did not have to do that at her event. She could have literally ate Brit up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner throughout the season because I know Kenya is capable of doing that. We'll get into Kenya's statement in a minute as well. However, Brit, you lied all season. You told your husband, you told everybody that your agency was under investigation. And see the real tea on Angela clocking you and saying, for what? What are you being investigated for? So what you are being investigated for, if it's true, has absolutely nothing to do with this show. Let's be clear. You were under investigation before you came on the show. I believe that, allegedly. I do. I believe you were under investigation. If Your license is under investigation. I believe you were under investigation before you came on this show. Now, again, you cried all season long, and now you're telling me recently, just recently, you saw the photos. We know that you were not in the room, but you mean to tell me you waited this long to actually see the photos? Brit, you are lying. I don't believe you. I do not believe Brit whatsoever. A lot of people is eating this up. I don't believe her. If an investigation happened, during the investigation, when they were doing their investigation, they didn't let you see the photo prior to that. So you mean to tell me after these chain of events happened throughout the season, you didn't see the photo? Girl, you're lying. You mean to tell me we went through all this all season long for you to come down here and tell us that that wasn't you? You lying, girl. The only reason why you did not want to be at that reunion is because you know you were going to be held accountable for all of your issues with the cast, because that's what we're going to be clear about. She has issues with the cast, okay? And you did not want to be held accountable for your most recent event. Now, you all have to remember this other thing too. Why do y'all think that guy, that gay guy, the one that I read down his entire criminal history, as to him being arrested and all of that stuff, and he was exposing Brit Edie's husband? Why do y'all think that man was doing that? That man was doing that because there was some truth behind. I'm not saying there's any truth behind what he said about her husband, but there's definitely truth behind what he said about Brit. Now I'm starting to understand that you called him a scammer, and the reason why he is outing you so much is because of what you just did. I truly believe he know the real tea about what's going on. Now, does it make it right what he's doing? No, it doesn't. It doesn't make it right. But it also makes me reevaluate that situation as to how you are or how you've been all season. Now, I will see, sweet essence. I don't think Bravo is going to do that, because we're getting ready to talk about how Bravo played in our face. Because if this is true, if there's any truth to it, Bravo literally played in our face, her face, Kenya face, and everybody else's face. Right? Because that's literally what she did. Now, wait a minute. Before I go any further, I have seen some videos, I have seen some posts, I have seen a lot of things saying that the viewers did this to Brit. No, Brit did this to Brit. Be very clear. She was a flop ever since she came on this show. No one liked her. She is literally a flop of a housewife. And I'm getting ready to say something. I really don't. So here's what we're battling with, right? No, I don't want to see the show canceled. I don't. I don't. I don't. And let me tell you why I don't want to see the show canceled. I've told you guys time and time again, I'm okay with the OG coming in. But what I don't want the show to be canceled, because all these other shows continue to go on after they didn't have somebody cast it wrong. All these white franchises can continue to keep flourishing. So there's no reason why I want to see the black show canceled. I don't want to see that. No, we only got two black shows, two all black casts, where you got all of these other white women, and you getting ready to have another show full of white women when Rhode Island comes out. So no, I do not want to see Real Housewives of Atlanta canceled, nor do I want to see Potomac canceled. And everybody has called for cancellation of both shows. Every time something happens, everybody calls for a cancellation. I don't want that to happen. because I do think that overall, minus Brit and minus what happened with Kenya, I think that we have had a decent season. Has it been the best season? Heck no. Has it been the worst season? I don't feel like that. I don't want to see the show canceled. I don't. I want to continue to see black women win in this space because again, we have Beverly Hills, you got Orange County, you got New York. New York is not canceled. They're doing something different with New York. Um, you got now Jersey, I believe, is probably on the back burner, but you got Rhode Island getting ready to come out. You got Salt Lake City, you got Miami. You have a few black women on Miami, but it's majority not a black cast. So this is why I said you got Dubai, who only got 2 seasons. Their second season, I don't think Bravo treated them right, and so now the show is canceled. You or on the back burner, they say canceled, suspend, whatever they say. Not canceled, but they say pause. So again, I don't want to see the show fail. I do not, and I want to make that very clear. But I do believe Bravo played in our face with this one. Absolutely. I believe Bravo played in our face. If what she's saying, which I felt like when she originally said it, I felt like she was playing word games. I felt like she is tap dancing on our intelligence as if we're not smart enough to know like what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Um Bravo, I think the issue that I have with you guys is the fact that y'all wanted the Sweet 16 season to be epic. Y'all wanted this to be an amazing season. Y'all worked behind the scenes to try to get this season right, right? But where y'all messed up at is when y'all didn't let Brit go after the whole Pow Pow incident. Fair is fair. If you were gonna let Kenya go, you should have let Brit go. And I think you guys are feeling the wrath of that at this point. So, Bravo, this is a mistake on y'all's behalf, right? Truly original, this is a mistake on y'all's behalf, right? Because again, had she been let go instantly when all of this happened, I don't think we would be in this space at all. At all. So that's how I feel like this could have been fixed. And I feel like they could have had a really great season if and y'all probably gonna be like, ooh, Chef's really saying this. If they would have brought Phaedra in back then, which I don't think they really could have because of course Married to Medicine was still on, and I'm not sure what was in Phaedra's contract as far as Married to Medicine goes, because you have to remember, although it's on the same network, there's two different production companies. So I'm not sure what was in Phaedra's contract, but to me, how I think y'all could have ate this season up was after the Pow Pow situation happened, or the threat of the Pow Pow, after really y'all should have took care of Brit then, is what should have happened. Y'all should have took care of Brit then because the evidence was out there. She did say it. She said it. But if we were going to wait until after Kenya was let go, both of them should have been let go at the same time. And then you could have brought Phaedra in and finished out the season. And this is another reason why y'all needed another friend of to come in and kind of float throughout the girls, because that would have been beneficial to the fact that that both of them were gone. Because let's just keep it real, both of them were main cast. Bravo, y'all really messed up with this one. Y'all did. Y'all really messed up with this one. And there's no other way around it. They messed up with this. They did. They did. Now, Kenya, I believe Kenya's post, I believe Kenya's post was more, I believe producers may have told Kenya, like, maybe we'll bring you back or something of that sort. Kenya said that she was disappointed. She apologized again to Brit, the crew, the production, Andy. well, I don't know about Andy, but all the people. She apologized to him. And she said, y'all will see me on Bravo. So I'm sure she's coming back next season. Which I thought that the whole time. I never thought that Kingy was going forever. I didn't think that. However, they still dropped the ball on this. Bravo, Truly Original, the production company, everybody, y'all dropped the ball on this. Y'all did. And what y'all can't do is blame the fan base on this. You cannot blame the fans. You cannot blame the viewers. You just can't do it. You cannot do it. See, what I'm seeing a lot of is a lot of people wanting to blame the viewers and the fans for what these housewives do. They need to be held accountable. Brit, there was no reason for Brit not to be held accountable. None whatsoever. She should have been held accountable throughout the season if they were going to keep her. So now, Bravo, I think you got a taste of your own medicine because I don't think you guys handled this right. So now, again, you get a taste of your own medicine. Again, I don't want to see the show canceled. I don't want to see uh 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 I don't want to see the show canceled. I like the new girls. I like Angela. Kelly is very flip-floppy-ish, but she is that I mean that's kind of what reality TV is, right? You need somebody that's gonna flip-flop or that's gonna do this, gonna do that. You need that, right? I don't like how Drew has been treated all season long, and I'm gonna get into why I don't think Drew should be last chair. Bravo, what is going on with y'all? Y'all can say what y'all want to about Drew, but Drew actually does not mind filming her life outside of this group. You can feel however you want to feel about Drew and Ralph, but Drew actually shows her life outside of this group of girls. We haven't seen much of Portia's life outside of these group of girls other than, you know, because she couldn't film what Simon had going on, understood, whatever. You're not going to really see Phaedra's life outside of the show like that. All of the stuff that's public. Okay. We got a little bit of Kelly's story with her ex-husband. We got a lot of Angela and Charles. We really didn't see Shamia's husband but once or twice throughout the season. She FaceTimed and called him more than we actually seen him. But to put Drew on the end of this couch when Porsha, it honestly tells me that Porsha over there thinks that she is the queen. And the queen really needs to come back. Huh? Speaking of the queen says she's in a better place with Bravo, which is what I've been telling you guys. I've been telling you guys, and y'all know what I'm talking about when I say the queen. She says that she's in a better space with Bravo and that Bravo, they are dating right now. Okay. And she absolutely said that. And I've been telling y'all that. I told y'all Nene had been working with NBC Universal. And I told you guys that this was a way in the door. There were people who wanted to argue with me. Well, NBC Universal and Bravo is not the same. Are you dumb or are you stupid? NBC Universal definitely owns Bravo. When she's hosting these Emmys and these awards, they're hosted and ran by NBC Universal. Not only that, but do y'all remember about a year and a half ago, Nene took a whole photo shoot in her office where she said she's back. Oh, y'all maybe have forgotten that. That's the real queen. Porsha. Porsha, I get you, boo. You think you're that girl, and I really think that you may have requested or some sort of way got Drew on the end of the sofa. There's no reason why Drew should be on the end. None. None. You may not agree with anything that she's done this season. There's no reason why she should be on the end of this sofa. So let's get into the seating chart. This is the full seating chart. To Andy's right, you have Porsha, Phaedra, and Cynthia. I'm seeing a lot of people say, why is Phaedra second seat? Because of Porsha. because of Porsha. Let's be clear. And then you have Cynthia. And then to the left of Andy, you have Shamia, Angela, Kelly, and Drew. If anything, I knew they was gonna give Shamia first seat. I knew they were gonna give Shamia and Portia first seat. I knew it. But if anything, Kelly should have been last. We should have had Drew right after Shamia, because Drew has had, according to Kelly, Drew has had issues with everybody on the cast, right? You ain't coming in here saying that. Go to hell. Drew should not be on the end. In my opinion, it should have been Drew, Shamia, Angela, Kelly. So y'all mean to tell me that Brit would have been between Cynthia and Phaedra? I saw some people saying that, and I thought, I could see it happening, but there was no reason why Drew was at the end. There was no reason why Drew was at the end. I'm not saying that she has power, CC. That's not what I'm saying. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying based on Portia's attitude, on how she goes, I do believe that she thinks she's the queen, and I do believe that she feels like she has some sort of say so. Mm. Gotta kind of read in between the lines with that one. Hmm. And y'all, I mean, y'all keep saying that Drew hasn't been on Watch What Happens Live, but I mean, she still has an opportunity to be. Maybe she won't be. Maybe they are trying to phase Drew out. Who knows? Who knows? Whatever. Again, she didn't need to be at the end of the sofa. She didn't need to be. And honestly, Bravo would be dumb not to bring Drew back. In my opinion, I'm not saying that Portia's running things. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But think about it. Who else is the queen on here besides? In other words, Portia got it in good with networking Andy. Yes, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Same with Phaedra. Phaedra got to get in with the network and Andy. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't take that back at all. Absolutely. I do believe that. Um, it probably does save Drew's peach next season. It probably does save Drew's peach next season. Um, right. It's the same relationship Candy has. Andy loves Portia and Andy loves Phaedra, like down to the ground. So I mean, I knew I knew once I seen Drew on the end of that sofa. Oh yeah, yeah, them two, them two, absolutely. And I do believe Phaedra was like, "Oh, I need to be by Portia." Absolutely. Why is why is Phaedra in between Cynthia and Portia? Cynthia did more than Phaedra did so far from what we've seen, and Cynthia was just a friend of. I don't know. Um, I know people were making that a thing that Drew hasn't been on Watch What Happens Live, but um, I mean, we still have what, three or four more episodes to go. You still got the reunion. Um, yeah, you still got the reunion. And who knows, Drew may actually be on this week's of Watch What Happens Live. Drew is in New York Well, I know they were in New York for the reunion, but um, Drew was in New York before that as well. Drew was doing press. Um, she's been doing press. I think it's an old school versus a new school thing. I don't. I don't. I mean, Cynthia could have been anywhere on the sofa. I believe it's a Porsche favor with the network thing. That's what I believe it is. I'm pretty sure Cynthia didn't care where she sat. So that's why I don't think that's the case. I think it's literally Porsche and Phaedra. I just believe that. Um, but in my opinion, the network would be dumb not to bring Drew back, because regardless of Drew having this whole lying persona about herself, there is still a aspect of what Drew brings to reality TV that a lot of these women don't, which is story. She's bringing her life. She brings the issues. She may act dumb about certain things, but Drew, the one thing about Drew is Drew does, I mean, she works. She works. She works. So yeah, no, I didn't appreciate Drew being on the end of the sofa at all. Put Kelly as down there. Okay? Put Kelly down there. Leave Angela where she had. As a matter of fact, you could probably put Shamia down there. And this is not me turning on Shamia. This just it's just my thoughts. Like I think Porsche and Phaedra again got it in good with the network. And again, I'm not saying that they have a lot of power. I'm saying based off of their favoritism, and we're never gonna act like there's not any favoritism involved. But based on their favoritism to the network and to Andy, I can see a lot of what they're doing. I just don't like, what's up, L Teddy? I don't like that Drew is condescending. Well, I actually believe Portia is very condescending too. I believe what what Drew gave to Portia most recently is what Portia has been given. One of the things that I said that I didn't like, right? I didn't like when Drew and Portia sat down and Portia, I, her fans made excuses for Portia's behavior. Oh, if I was Portia, I would have got up and walked out. Y'all didn't hear Drew say that. Oh my God, I see why Simon is leaving you. What y'all are not, what y'all are missing is Portia gave Drew her entire tale to kiss all season long, based off of Drew wanting to have conversations with Portia about Portia going around saying that Drew and Dennis was sleeping around or doing whatever they were doing. Every group event that Portia was at and Drew tried to talk to her, Portia gave her her tail to kiss. So then when we get to this table, you then have a problem with me being condescending to you or even being passive aggressive to you when you've literally been giving me your tail to kiss all season long. You didn't want me to come on a all cash trip that I literally got paid for. But you want to get at this type of time. Do you really want to? That is so condescending to me. So the very energy that Portia has been giving out, Drew has been giving out. And really, if we're gonna keep it all the way a buck, Drew only really has an issue with Portia. Drew and Shamia's issue ain't even what that is, because everybody's been calling you a lapdog, girl. People been calling you a lapdog since season 9, honey. Since before that. So that shouldn't have pissed you off so bad, in my opinion. But again, what I realized by listening to people was talking about, oh, Portia, she was right to get up and walk away. She was right to do this. Why? 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 Because this is literally what Portia's been given. And Portia, I don't want to hear nothing from you about nobody being with your baby daddy or nothing. Ma'am, you are the same person who is literally divorcing a man who is in ICE custody, and you got your baby daddy in his kitchen making hot dogs. Girl, shut up. Shut up. The thing that irritates me about Drew is that she'll say some cute shade in your face, but nasty ish when you're not around. Portia will give it either way, if she feels like she's helping you have a moment off. I can see that a little bit. I can see that a little bit. I can see that a little bit. But Portia, child, Portia. Anyway, I'm gonna be quiet because I know I got a lot of Portia fans, and when I say Portia is a flop, do I want to see Portia off the show, or am I calling for Portia to be off the show? No, but I feel like Portia gets exactly what she gives out. Portia is so passive aggressive. Like Portia is so passive aggressive. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I cannot. Drew has gotten all of this free publicity from the cast. She's the true winner. Talk about it. See, that's the real gag. That's the real gag. Everybody got an issue with Drew. Do they really? No, they don't. They don't. They don't. Pressure Mia Candy coached her not to let anyone get their points off, overtalk them, or shut it down. I guess that's the formula that they use now. It stops resolution. Well, we already know that producers don't want them to really resolve things, because it extends the season out. Um, I just mm, I think they could have had something good had they handled this, nipped this in the bud in the first place. We all know that Portia had to. Um, hmm I get all that when it comes to Portia. I just feel like she could have approached this so different. She could have approached this season so different, especially with you going through a divorce. And another thing I keep hearing people say, Drew always throwing up a divorce in Portia face. Says the person who really went to go meet with Drew's estranged husband. If y'all don't cut that out, if y'all don't cut that out, please cut it out. Drew didn't go sit down with Simon. Drew and Dennis was making money together. And I don't care how many times y'all go around saying, oh, you know, Shamia's a liar too, because Shamia said, oh, I just ran into Ralph at the restaurant. But then you had to sit down with him about a podcast. It gets very much planned, mama. And I really hope that Drew tell into Shamia. You mad about being called a lapdog, but girl, you don't have anything to do with what I have going on, but you went to go sit down with my estranged husband. I hope she drags Shamia for the little inch of hair that she do have. Okay? That's what I do hope. Drag Shamia for the inch of hair that she do have. Girl, hey Miss Gina. It's all messy. No one should film with ex-husbands, baby daddies, none of it. And truth be told though, let's really kind of back this thing up. Let's back this thing up. When it comes to not Ralph, but when it comes to Drew and Dennis, I truly believe that production hounding on this being more of an issue than anyone. Because I think everybody knew that that Drew, um, I think everybody knew that Drew working with Dennis, That's literally what it was. We made it into this thing. Porsha has literally all season overproduced. She overproduced when she sat down and was like, but these text messages insinuate that you guys were doing something or that y'all was doing something. Porsha, girl, this is why mm-mm. ma'am, ma'am, them people was literally making money together. And whether you like it or not, Porsha ain't no real singer. Porsha that had one or two songs that come out that flopped. That's why Dennis ain't work with Porsha in the music industry. Ralph is a BAN for sure. Regardless if Simon had allowed Porsha to talk about their marriage, she would not be truthful. She would have tap danced around how she met Simon, nor the truth to the story. I actually agree with that. I do agree with that. Porsha was lying all season long. Right. And this is my thing. People don't understand and see that Porsha literally went around saying, Porsha literally started this rumor about Drew and Dennis sleeping together, not just working together. Oh, and this is another thing. When Porsha had her sit down with Drew, she literally said, I don't care if you're dating Simon. I mean, I don't care if you're dating Dennis. If you're dating Dennis, you're dating Dennis. No, you really do care. Clearly. And you know that's not what it was. That's why people saying that Portia's return is a flop. Portia said I'm making stuff up. Girl, I don't I can't with Portia. I can't. I think Portia had a problem with Dennis and Drew. I don't think it was as long as it was on the show. I don't think Portia had a problem with Dennis and Drew, and I honestly believe Portia knew the whole time that Dennis and Drew was working with each other. I do. I believe that it's a production stunt. I don't believe she's really mad that Drew was working with Dennis. I don't believe that at all. Drew needs to bring Fallon as her friend. Portia want to play. Let's play. Ooh, and now that's a dangerous game, honey. Shamia was the one that said that they were hugged up and dressed alike. She fed into it too. Oh yeah, absolutely. On the very first episode, she sure did. She did. She did. She did. And this is again now, Tamika. Let me ask you a question. Do that not give lapdog roof roof roof? It give lapdog to me. It give very much lapdog to me. Sorry, Shamia. A hit dog will holler. Oh, Drew. Drew said a hit dog will holler. Again, they could have put Kelly on the end. They could have put Drew first chair. They could have put Angela, then Shamia, then Kelly. If this is what we're gonna do, you know, it does. Her loyalty is blind. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All I'm gonna say again is, I think Brit is full of crap. A lot of y'all are just joining me, but we were talking about Brit's statement, and I believe Brit is lying. I do. I believe Brit is lying. You mean to tell me after an alleged investigation, after the whole season, after you have filmed the whole season, you mean to tell me you just now saw the picture? Just now? Girl, girl, stop lying. Stop lying. Stop lying. And I'm not even one to be like, oh my God, well, Kenya could have showed up if that was the case. No, because I think overall, again, what Kenya did, it was uncalled for. And even if that was not Brit, that even makes it worse on Kenya's behalf because you showing somebody else's innocent photo. That's what I'm saying. If that's the case, I don't believe that Brit is telling the truth here, though. I don't believe that. And how many times have Kenya doubled down on the fact that she found videos and pictures of Brit? I believe Brit is playing with words. I believe that second, whatever was on that second poster, I believe was Brit. Whatever was on that first poster, I don't believe was all Brit. So when she says that she wasn't in the pictures or that photo wasn't of her, I think she's talking about the first poster. She can't be talking about that second poster. Can't be. I mean, just cannot be. Kenya has doubled down on the fact that this stuff is still readily available on the internet. So this is why I'm saying that I don't believe that Kenya, unfortunately, y'all, I don't think this vindicates Kenya. I don't. I don't. And I know I got Team Twirl in the chat. I don't think this vindicates Kenya. Because my thing is, if it vindicates Kenya, Kenya wouldn't have said in that confessional saying, oh my God, you could still go find these photos. You could still do this. You could still do that. If there wasn't Brit and you double down on the fact that you knew it was Brit, I don't see where she's vindicated at. And this is not me trying to hate on Kenya or any of that, because that's what Team Toro say. You're a hater. What am I hating on, honey? The facts are the facts. I don't believe that Kenya is vindicated. I don't. And so for me, I do believe that Brit is lying. And I believe she's playing with her words. Is what I believe she's doing. Absolutely. So if y'all can tell me how y'all feel like Kenya is vindicated, then let me know. But I really don't. And just because Brit didn't show up to the reunion, again, it doesn't help vindicate Kenya for me. I mean, if you did it, you did it, sis. Like that's just the facts. It doesn't vindicate you. Britt told us her boyfriend took the pic. How is it that she is not in the pic? We'll never get the full truth. We'll never get the full truth. Bunch of lies. A bunch of lies. But as I stated before, I don't believe that this I said that too. Both of them should have been disciplined. And had Bravo actually handled Brit the right way in the beginning, I see a lot of y'all dropping out because y'all don't like when I be saying what I be saying about Kenya, because y'all know y'all really can't come and challenge me on what I'm saying. That's why some of y'all leaving out. I'm sure some people will unsubscribe too, because they will unsubscribe behind Kenya, honey. I remember when I lost at least on one live, I lost 10 subscribers based on what I said about Kenya. But it's the truth. I don't see her as being vindicated. And it's just my opinion. I don't know that lady to be yeah, some of y'all really do act like y'all know these people, like y'all done had lunch with these people, like y'all done had beignets with these people, hush puppies and stuff, fried fish. Y'all done been to the fish fry and everything. Some of y'all really act like y'all know these people. Y'all don't know these people. What you getting so pressed for? It's an opinion, honey. People don't like rational thinking at all. I keep seeing uh Team Twirl's vindicated. Kenya is vindicated. How? 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 When she literally has admitted to posting Brit's photos. How is she vindicated? How is she vindicated? If even if Brit is saying that wasn't her, Kenya sat in that confessional chair and literally said that she got those pictures offline. So if she got those pictures offline and now all of a sudden they're not Brit's photographs, she literally still had the intention of putting Brit's photographs out there. How is she vindicated? Exactly. What's up, Jada? Exactly. Thank you. Exactly. That's my whole thing. The intent was to expose. The intent was to put someone's photographs up there. Y'all think because oh, can you apologize? She said she was sorry. She apologized before already. So again, for me, Team Twirl, y'all can come over here and be mad all y'all want to. That lady is not vindicated. Would I have liked Kenya to be at the reunion to clear everything up? Yes, I would have liked that. But again, I don't think she's vindicated. I just don't. She doubled down on the fact that it was Brit. So y'all, I knew there wasn't no way I could do because I was gonna do this as a pre-recorded video, but I said, nah, I kind of want to go back and forth with Team Toilet a little bit. So I'm gonna do a live. I'm gonna do a live. Because y'all know we'll be live shortly to get into Diddy. I'm sorry, what Kenya did was wrong, and hold on, what Kenya did was wrong, and she should not be a part of the show. Now that it's not Brit, allegedly she exposed someone else, and that's my thoughts. Like y'all are saying, oh my God, this is if this if literally if you're saying that this is not Brit, then that means you exposed somebody else. So your intent was exposure, and that's what you did. Now, honestly, what a lot of y'all not saying, it would be dumb if it wasn't Brit. Oh, that would be stupid if it wasn't Brit. But then this begs the question here. And see, this is why I always say go back and reevaluate stuff. When Porsha did her video, Porsha said that the picture was of underage, was was of somebody of underage. She also said that somebody on the cast is the one who provided Kenya with those photographs. Everybody thought it was Drew. Drew cleared it up that it wasn't her. And Kenya also said that it wasn't Drew. So again, if y'all think that she's vindicated, if y'all think Kenya is vindicated, go watch her last confessional live on her YouTube channel. That's not of somebody who's been vindicated at all. Again, RHOA fan base or RHOA people, stop blaming the viewers for Brit's foolishness. Please stop. Brit didn't want to be held accountable, which is why she didn't show up to this reunion. Intentions produce actions. Kenya allowed her retaliation to ruin her beautiful event. And not only that, we know Kenya can be one of the girlies. Why did you not? My thing is, girl, Brit, in my opinion, this is my opinion, y'all don't have to agree with. I get ready to say this. Brit, okay, she threatened with Pow Pows, right? But you have had bigger beefs in the past, especially when it comes to Marlo, especially when it comes to Porsha. Kenya has had bigger beefs. She allowed this beef with this one girl to do something. And I don't know if Kenya thought that she was going to be protected or what. But you ain't never done this when you've had beef with these other ladies. And again, your beef with Marlo has been very extensive. So all I'm saying is if you allow someone who's a newbie to come in and do something like this, and you go all the way with it, and then you do a live or a video explaining it, you're not vindicated. You're just not at all. And good morning to everybody. Even if I didn't speak, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm having a hard time seeing the chat anyway with this on it. Hey y'all, I see you, Terry. Hey, Red 8405. Uh, Angie B, Mama B, CC. I see all y'all. What's up, y'all? Larati, is that how you say it? Larabi. That is clearly a B and not a D, sir. Get it together. I wish she wouldn't have apologized. F Brit. Well, no, you gotta apologize in order to come back in the fold. You have to be held as some sort of accountability. Um, yeah, she needed to apologize. She absolutely needed to apologize. You need to apologize, number one, so that you can continue to move on and be successful in your life. Yes, she needed to apologize. She did, regardless of what she needed to apologize. Kitty, hey Kitty Doc, I'm seeing a lot of new faces. I'm really hoping y'all are subscribing. Okay, I am really hoping that y'all are subscribing over here. I know the Team Twirl will unsubscribe, so please make sure you subscribe. Listen, we have a good time over here. Okay, we have a good time over here. We have a good time over here. Has Phaedra apologized yet? Oh, child. Listen, listen. Don't get me started on the mortuary marcher. Please don't. Don't get me started on the mortuary marcher. Please. Um, the Real Housewives of New Hampshire. The Real Housewives of New Hampshire. Are you speaking something into existence, CC, that we don't know about? Well, listen, we are always held to a different standard. And again, listen to me when I say this, because again, this is please listen to me. And Jada, please stay in the chat because I want you to hear this. Please stay in the chat. As a fellow content creator, I need your opinion on this. And to if I have any other content creators listening, drop out of the bushes. I don't want to see this show fail. We only, and I agree with you because actually, Jada said this about a week ago. I don't want to see the show fail because I feel like, okay, and I'm gonna get your thing, Chloe, because I disagree with that. But anyway, this is what I feel like. I feel like, of course, we are going to be held to a different standard because we are. There are only two black shows. We had Martha's Vineyard that got canceled, and it's not a housewife show, but we had Martha's Vineyard that got canceled, and we also had Dubai that was put on hold as well. What we cannot do, y'all, and I get it, everybody has an opinion. What we cannot do is down the very show that's a staple, right? A Baby Girl 1981, down the very show that's not only a staple, but it is one of our leading black franchises, and we only have two. We only have Atlanta and we only have Potomac. These other girls on these other shows, they can get away with a lot of stuff that we can't get away with. And we have to be very careful about how we speak about certain things. So for me, and y'all don't have to agree. Y'all do not have to agree with me. However, I don't want to see the show fail because again, not only do they bring us content, because we all here right now talking about the show, not only do they bring us content, but they are also black women who are on the show. And we may not like them. We may not, there may be some people that we do not like on the cast, but I do not want to see the show fail for that very reason because that is what they can quickly say is like, oh, there's the black shows that's dwindling down. They're not getting what they need. They're not getting, y'all already see how they do with the budgets to Married to Medicine, the budgets to Real Housewives of Atlanta, the budget for Potomac, even though I think Potomac and Married to Medicine actually get some of the best budgets where Real Housewives of Atlanta always get pushed to the back. But this show is a staple. I don't want to see it end. If you have to bring in a couple of OGs, bring in a couple of OGs, and then bring in these new girls. I've always said this though. Do they need to vet their new girls? Absolutely. Absolutely. I do think they need to tighten up with the vetting process over there. But I do want to see some new girls behind the gates doing their big one, not uh, coming up with an event only because they asked you to come up with an event. I need to know people who are real bosses, who are real business minded people. And see, that's another thing. When we think housewife, we're literally thinking a housewife. No, I want to see women who are working out of the house, right? You got that Bitcoin, that big money. That's what I want to see. And so I don't want to see this show fail. And I also have to clear up this too, because a couple of weeks ago, I was going back and forth. Well, this is probably last week. I was going back and forth with somebody on Twitter because I did laugh at the ratings the week that um Phaedra was on there. And the first week that Phaedra was on there, I knew it was a holiday weekend, but the reason why I was keying was because the mortuary marchers had said that once Phaedra get on there, them ratings was gonna skyrocket. And I mean, they still ain't skyrocket this past week. I mean, they did real good. They got over 200 plus new viewers. But that's what I was laughing at. I wasn't laughing at the downfall of the show or where the show is at. No, I can laugh at the mortuary marchers because the mortuary marchers don't mind laughing at other people either. So that's what that was for. Y'all saying bring back Candy. I respect Candy, but uh-uh. Mm-mm. I respect Candy. I want to see Candy's hustle outside of the show. I think Candy's got her mind on other things. I also think that Candy is focused on her EGOT status, and I don't think you're gonna continue. And I'm not saying that she can't do more than one thing at a time, but I want to see Candy flourish in those areas, right? Continue to still tour with your group, continue to make your movies, and continue. I mean, not your movies, but your plays and all of that kind of stuff. Do that. Do you think the 200K was a bump was due to Phaedra's effect? No, I don't, because Phaedra didn't do nothing in the last episode. All she did was throw shade at Angela and then say to Drew, did you really think, or no, she told Angela, do you really think that you're venting if that's someone's best friend? That's all we got from Phaedra. We didn't get nothing else from Phaedra. So no, I think because again it wasn't a holiday weekend and the people was watching a little TV and stuff. I think that was the effect. I don't know. I don't see Phaedra pulling in these. She said that she was gonna save the Titanic from sinking, and in my opinion, that's not what she's doing. Um, Candy don't have a storyline. Phaedra did a lot of press leading up to the episode, so people may have tuned in to watch. Could be, but I've seen Phaedra do a lot of press leading up to the sneak peek that they put out. They got only 400 and something views, but you know, I mean, okay. The seating chart is weird. Why is Phaedra's second chair? Because of Porsha and because of how good she is in with the network. Yeah, I think a lot of these questions we can answer ourselves and we don't really need to work ourselves up for it. Because again, this is why I keep saying that. Yeah, I'm just saying Tennessee girl, she was all on Sherry Shepherd and everything. It still didn't, I mean, but okay. Um Atlanta, I think a lot of girls that y'all have probably told no, and they probably don't care about the show anymore. I think is an opportunity for us to see other people. But y'all probably gonna they probably gonna take another break. They probably gonna take another break like they did this. They took a whole year off almost, and I think they're gonna do it again. I do. It's past time to hold Phaedra accountable. It's not fair. Yeah, they ain't gonna never hold Phaedra accountable though. Sure isn't Chef my ass needed headed to the exit with a life jacket when the mortuary lady was coming back again, and she's in good with the network. The network loves her. The network still loves Candy, which is why, of course, they respected Candy's wishes as long as they did. You know what I'm saying? And then when it comes to Phaedra and Porsha got a lot of favor in the network, and I believe that they um I believe they have summoned some things. I do believe that Candy has given enough. Yeah, I think Candy need to focus on her other stuff. And I like Candy. Well, I respect Candy. Let me put it that way. A lot of people think I'm a fan of Candy, or I'm a part of the Candy Code clique. That is not true. Because when Candy was on the show, I gave it to Candy just like I did everybody else, and people thought I hated Candy. Oh my God, you dislike Candy. Now let me address Chloe's comment, and then I'm gonna um address something else, and I'm gonna get off here. Chloe said the double standards with Bravo. There are double standards with Bravo when it comes to Kenya. Um, I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't necessarily agree with that. Do I think again that Brit should have been let go? Yes, I do agree with that. Um, but we also have to hold Kenya accountable for some of the stuff that she has said and done. Like that's what a lot of y'all, well, a lot of Team Twirl. Kenya has done some things that Kenya needs to be held accountable for, and I don't necessarily see it as a double standard. Kenya has done some very effed up things. Let Listen, and I know some of y'all may be Team Twirl. Team Twirl, we can get out there in the grass and tussle a little bit, but it's the truth. It's the truth. The cookie lady, Kim Fields. Kenya has done some things. So I don't necessarily agree with that Bravo has double standards when it comes to her. Kenya has done some unthinkable things that we haven't seen. Now, am I saying that Brit is excused at anything that she did for threatening with a pow pow? No, I'm not. I'm solely speaking on Chloe's comments. For anybody that, well, what about what Brit did? What about that? I get it, but Kenya has done some effed up things. She has. I agree with everybody that said that Phaedra should have apologized, or Phaedra should be held accountable. I agree with that too. I agree. Brish needs to be held accountable after this. Granted, you're running from it, Britt. So yeah, I do. Nah, hell no, don't bring no damn Clawfoot back. Where we bringing Clawfoot back? Clawfoot ain't even don't even live in Atlanta. Hell no. Hell to the no, no, no. Kenya showed something, hence why she apologized. Both should have been let go. Yeah, but here's where Team Twirl, y'all probably gonna really agree with this. If Kenya went to the production company, if Kenya went to production and said, "Hey, this is what Britt did," they should have done an investigation then and let Britt go, and then Kenya wouldn't have had to do what she did. That's the way that it should have went. If you were gonna keep Brit, if you were gonna keep Brit and gonna keep Kenya, I do believe after Kenya did what she did, that both of them should have been fired if that was the case, because I feel like the investigation should have went deeper into what Brit did and what Brit said, and I do believe that it should have been fair across the board. I do believe that. Team Twerk, get back in here, girl. I said something positive about Kenya. Somebody gonna come in my comments and say, "Oh my God, you speak so negative on Kenya. Oh my God, yeah, you always have something negative to say about Kenya." Somebody gonna do it. Watch. So somebody gonna do it. Oh my God, all you do is talk down on Kenya. Right? I want to see Kenya do other stuff too. Yeah, I want to see Kenya do other stuff too. Um, Phaedra was held accountable by being removed from the show. She doesn't owe the audience anything. Oh no, I disagree, Angie B. I disagree. I disagree. I disagree. I totally disagree. She brought that to the show. I disagree. Mm-mm. I disagree. She absolutely owes the audience an apology as well. I disagree. Yeah, I disagree with that wholeheartedly. hmm She absolutely owes us something. Yeah, she does. She does. Does she owe it to Candy too? Yeah. But she absolutely owes the viewers this. She had no problem saying it in front of the viewers. So why she don't owe us nothing? She had no problem doing what she did in front of the viewers. So why doesn't she owe us anything? Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to see the apology, and I want to see the being held accountable on camera. And as I stated before, when it comes to Phaedra and Porsha cheated us, because Phaedra and Porsha should have had a conversation, and the conversation didn't have to be about Candy. The conversation should have definitely been about the downfall of their friendship and how they were able to come back together and become friends again. That's what we needed to see. That's, as the viewers, that's what we deserve to see. Because as we last left off, what we left off with is Porsha telling Phaedra she was lying about certain things. And so we as the audience deserved a sit down conversation. And again, Candy didn't have to be brought up, but they could have brought up how they re-blossomed their friendship and talked to us about what happened season 9 and why y'all were in the place that y'all were in. I get it. I don't really believe that they have been real good Judy since after that. Do I think they've ran into each other and all of that? I do think that. I don't think that they've been good Judys and hung out outside of the show or anything like that. So yes, absolutely. I do believe Phaedra owes that to the audience. Yep, I do. No. Cece Phaedra said some of this stuff on camera. Well, when she had that sit down and she was doing her finger motions, she did some stuff on camera. The dungeon thing, all of that stuff came out from Phaedra. Porsha then repeated it, and that's how it came out. So yeah, Phaedra is most definitely the girl who brought it to the camera. She did. She did. She absolutely did. And there was another thing, because a lot of people was talking about the friendship between Porsha and Shamia back then when Phaedra did that. Remember, it was not Cynthia, it was Sheree, Phaedra, and Porsha that was sitting at the table, and Phaedra absolutely said that Candy and Shamia was doing. Phaedra said that Candy and Shamia was bumping coochies, and that um Yeah, Phaedra absolutely said this stuff. Yeah, she did. And Portia had to sit down with Candy, and that's when some of it got rehashed. But yeah, Phaedra absolutely said it and said and done the stuff on camera when they had that sit down. Absolutely. Because Sheree's reaction was like, oh, what? Yeah. So very much so, Phaedra did bring the mess to the cameras. She did. Um Brit is a what's up, Victor? Yeah, Brit is a flop. Hey, Twin Flames, what's going on? The finger motion stuff as about Shamia hooking up, which I can believe. She said all this stuff on camera. When it came to Candy and uh when it came to Candy and Shamia, she did. All right, y'all, listen. These are just my thoughts on this. If y'all want to windmill in them comments, let's get it. Let's get it. Cause I'm ready today. I'm ready today. I got a little time. It's Friday. I really don't got time, but I got time because it's Friday. Y'all already know we're about to get into the diddler of the diddlers of it all. Um, and so meet me over there on that live. So we're getting ready to start it here in a moment. Um, that is another thing, Miss Peggy, about Kenya talking negatively about production with CK. That's why a lot of people believe that Kenya did what she did so that she can get her salon filmed. Because remember, she was telling Carlos that she didn't appreciate her salon not being filmed and all of this stuff. And I mean, the very words that she said about Nene is the very words that Kenya is literally eating right now. So anyway, anywho, anyhow, I will see you guys over on the Diddler side if you guys are interested. If not, I hope that you guys have a good Friday. I have a couple of things that I'm doing. I still need to do my T.S. Madison and Nene review. I need to we're going live on the other channel to talk about the girls fighting, and we got some other stuff. No more EADY should be allowed on RHOA. No more EADYs, Brit and Fallon. I don't really think that they'll bring Fallon on the show, only because only to protect Porsha. I think that Porsha got the network and got the people in her hands, so I don't believe that she will be back. I mean, I don't believe that. That's not what I'm gonna say. I don't believe that that Fallon will come on the show. All right. Listen, I will talk to you guys later. Meet me over on the next live, and we'll be going from there. It'll be live at the live today. Y'all have a good one. Peace.